Hello, Dental Team listeners. This is Kiera, and today I am so excited to chat with you. I hope that you're just having an incredible day. I hope you're having an incredible life. I hope you remember that honestly, we are so blessed to be in dentistry. We are so blessed to live the lives that we do. You are making huge changes, and I hope that you're always so proud of yourself and that you're remembering that what you're doing is truly changing lives. Today, I wanted to pop on and I wanted to talk real quick about something that we did at our virtual summit in April. And I hope you were able to attend. If you weren't, mark your calendars for next year. We are having it on April 24th, 2026. So mark your calendars now. Plan to be there. I would love to see you there. Because this year our topic was on unlocking extraordinary leadership and profitability. And I think those things go hand in hand. And one of the quotes that we had in there was, extraordinary doesn't mean perfect. And Simon Sinek has said, there is no such thing as a perfect leader, only one who learns, adapts, and grows with their team. And I really loved this because we went through an entire model of what's extraordinary leadership, what's the extraordinary leadership formula. And then at the end, we actually went through this amazing thing of common themes of practices. And so what our team did is we actually started looking at all of the dental offices that we've consulted, that we've been a part of, that we've worked with over the years. And we started looking to see what are maybe some of the common themes of awesome practices that have amazing leadership and practices who maybe have not so good of leadership. And so I thought today it would actually be really fun to hop on the podcast. And for those of you who attended Summit, amazing. This is a nice recap for you, hopefully to dive it in. There are no recordings of Summit. So I thought this would be a fun thing to bring back to the table for you and something I really loved. And I've thought about it so much. And also for those of you who might not have been able to attend, to help you start thinking, because I found that when I can figure out what are the patterns, like Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues. And I think about this often of, okay, what are the clues of the successful practices? What are the clues of the offices that are doing things differently? What are the clues of the offices that struggle constantly versus the offices that do really well? And one thing that is always in common is there's always an amazing leader. Always. They're always watching their numbers, so they make their decisions based on their numbers. And the third thing is that they have these common themes. So our team actually went through, and I remember asking our team, I said, okay, let's look at these leaders. Let's look to see what are the themes, what are the pieces, what is it? And we picked out a couple of offices. We picked out some of these different things, and we said, like, okay, here's these awesome offices. What do they have in common? What are the things that they're doing consistently? And let's see if we could build this like common theme. So let's go through it. And it was really amazing because when we were in Summit, we had people, I was like, okay, this isn't you. This is other practices, of course. But let's think of like, what are some of the not so good attributes of leadership? What do you think? Of course, this is not you. This is someone else. But what is it for you that maybe would be like the not so good leadership? Again, and these are offices that could be doing great financially. But what I usually find are the great leaders are always the more successful and more profitable practices. So the not so good, what they tend to have is they don't trust their office manager or their leadership team. I'm always here for trust and verify, but to truly trust your office manager and to let them lead and to have them as a partner in the business and to hold them to that high level. They're also usually sometimes poor clinicians. Again, I'm not a dentist. I'm not here for it. But it was interesting of like a lot of the practices that we see struggling is the dentistry is actually not so good. And I feel like that kind of truly kind of revolves and it might reflect some possible pieces. So for that, just know, again, these are not all, but we started just looking at like what were some of the common themes. They were poor leaders. So there's team turnover constantly. So they weren't having the conversations. They were trying to be people pleasers. They were trying to dance around the hard conversations. They maybe were talking bad about other team members. They were gossiping. But that was something, and there was a team turnover constantly and people couldn't figure it out. I know there's one office that I can remember. Don't worry, I'll mash it up so you don't know who I'm really talking about. And they were just rude. They were constantly belittling their team. They were constantly putting them down. They were constantly just mean. And so on that, just realizing there was team turnover. Now, team turnover can also be because you're not transparent. You're not having conversations. It does not mean that you're people pleasing. They didn't implement strategies. They would take a lot of notes. They'd go to a lot of CE, but they never implement. So it's just like we're listening, but we don't actually implement. We don't actually execute. Now, remember, these are the not so good leaders. Okay. They were highly driven by emotions. So emotions guide. I know when I first started, I was very turbulent as a leader, and I was very driven by emotions rather than what's ultimately in the best interest of the business. I constantly ask that question, like, I know I want to take care of you and I'd love to have you be a part of us. But the reality is I've got to drive this business by logic while having a heart and having definitely having some love that way too. They also don't look at their numbers. They don't look at their results. So not tracking numbers. They have no clue. It's like they are an ostrich in the sand. They don't want to look at them. They have no idea where their numbers are. When I ask, like, how are you doing? It's always like, we don't really know. We just love to live in la la land. They do a lot of CE, but never implement, similar to they don't implement strategies, especially in coaching clients. They don't implement. They always have an excuse. So I think like lots and lots and lots of excuses is another sign of the not so good leaders that we see as common themes. Again, there's like variables, there's other things, but these were common themes of practices that when we meet them, we know that they're probably going to fail. These are common themes. They have lots of coaches, but they don't trust and they don't execute. So they'll listen, they hire the coaches, they do the things, but they don't actually trust and they don't execute. So the coaches will talk to the team, they'll give them the strategies and they'll be like, yeah, we're not going to do that. Or nope, I'm not going to execute that. Or they just don't follow through. They have no integrity on their word. They're half in on everything. So it's kind of like, yeah, we kind of do that. We kind of do this. We kind of do that. Just fully do it. Like, why not? They want to pay to fix the problems with no self-realization, identification that they might be the issue. So things like ego, fear, no accountability. Everyone else is the problem. I see this often. They blame, they talk about like, oh my gosh, this person's so terrible. Or, oh my gosh, like you'll never believe what happened to me. There's always an excuse for why they don't have the life that they want to have or the practice that they want. So I'm super curious, like, as you listen to that list, like I said, like, this is a zone where, honest to goodness, what are the not so good leaders? And do you maybe have any of those attributes? Now let's flip the good side. All right. So these are, again, there's so many things I could have pulled out, but these are the ones that I looked at and I was like, oh my gosh, these are consistent themes of great leaders. So they're great implementers. They execute, they put things into play, and they don't fall off. So they truly implement and they stick. They allow their teams to be free. It's interesting. They give them the parameters, they give them the vision, and then they allow the teams to create. They say, all right, here's the parameters of what we are as a culture. Now go create and be free. They're great at decision making. They don't sit on it. They think about it. They use their numbers and they execute, which leads to the next one is they execute. They make the decision. They follow through. They move forward. If we tell them to do something, they get it done. They follow through on what they say. They own their word. They're consistent. They roll with the punches. It's not high. It's not low. It's just they roll right through. They have long-term teams. These teams stay with them. They take care of their teams, but they're also honest with their teams and very much holding them to a high level and high standards. The good also live by high standards. They don't tolerate mediocrity. They truly don't. It's just they cut it out, they move on, and they are very, very methodical in their decisions. They make their decisions based on the numbers. They're great visionaries. They see where they want to go, and they can truly inspire and rally a team on actual things that are going to happen rather than just theories and ideas. And they know what they're working towards and they don't get distracted. They truly have these blinders. I feel like so many of them have discipline. So as like who they are, most of them all work out consistently. They have a strong workout routine. They are physically fit. They have date nights with their spouses or their significant others. They make time for their kids. They're very good with their time and time management. They prioritize. They delegate really well. They focus on what's the most important for them. But it's interesting as you look at the difference between the two lists. My question is, which list are you on more so? If I was Santa Claus and it's the naughty and nice list, as you go back, and maybe it'd be worthwhile to stop and push pause on this podcast. It's a very short, concise podcast for you today. Go back and check off of like, how am I doing on this? Is this a trait of mine or is it not a trait of mine? Because the reality is I want you to be an incredible leader. I want you to be an incredible human. I want you to truly be such great leaders to be able to have the practice of your dreams and the life of your dreams. And it really does boil down to leaders. And so again, it was such a fun little thing. I thought I'd take like just a little snippet out of Summit for you of the not so good and the good leadership. And for you, let's add more to the good. And if you need help with that, this is oftentimes where an outside person can help you see, where are my gaps as a leader? Where can I grow? Where can I rise? How can I have these conversations? How can I nip things in the bud faster? How can I stay consistent to this? You guys, I wasn't a consistent human when I started. and I had to put things into place to help me be consistent. It's muscle skills to be a great leader. It's not born into you. And so if we can help you reach out, hello@thedentalateam.com. You guys truly flex those leadership muscles, commit to being that incredibly great leader for your practice. Your practice needs you. Your team needs you. Your patients need you. This is your time and you need you. So rise up, be that amazing leader. And if we can help, reach out, hello@thedentalateam.com. And as always, thanks for listening. I'll catch you next time on the Dental Team Podcast.